Welcome back, my dear tarot pals, to another pick a card reading. Today we're going to look at something very unique. I've never thought of this, and the moment I did, I was like, why have we not made a reading on this? You as a parent, your future kids, they could be biological children, these could be adopted kids, of course the whole plethora of relationships that can be bonded. So this reading, we're looking at and asking Spirit about your future children. I have also allowed in the reading for anybody who already has kids, your dynamics as a parents with your kids, okay? So if you already are a parent, this could, you can get messages and guidance about your children in this reading as well. I do have 3 crystals right there, which we will use for your reading today. I'm going to draw, this is the Major Arcana deck. We're going to pull out 3 cards if you're new to pick a card readings. You can make one or more than one selection. Listen to your intuition. These are general readings. Take what resonates and leave the rest. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, and this is the second video you're watching for Tarot Pal, please don't forget to do that. Do that right now because it makes a huge difference for me. Congratulations to all Tarot Pals. We are 500 plus now, and I'm super excited for our journey ahead. On that note, there's also all the relevant details about my Instagram channel where I do post more consistently, rather every day. Follow me there, and there's an email address shared with you, which is the only way to book a reading apart from sending me a DM on my Tarot Pal account on Instagram to book a reading, a paid personal reading. All of that said, let's dive right into it. I'm super excited for this reading. Your future kids or your children, as we want to call this reading. I'll see what I want to label that once I'm done with this reading. So for pile number 1, children, pile 1's kids. Let's go with this one. For pile number 2, I feel drawn to this, and for pile number 3, we'll go with that. Okay, so take some deep breaths. Let me first reveal the cards, and then I'll put the crystals on it. Okay, so we'll see how Spirit guides us. So for pile number 1, we have the Moon card. Okay, for pile number 2, I have the Magician, only taking uprights, of course. And for pile number 3, we have the High Priestess. Okay, those are the 3 tarot cards or the major arcanas that are drawn to. Now let me see which one do I want to go with. Okay, let's put the Moon with the Carnelian. Okay, that's your crystal. Pile 1 is the Moon and the Carnelian. Pile 2, let's go with the Turquoise. So that's pile number 2. Love this beautiful piece. And for pile number 3, we're going to go with the Amethyst. Okay, and there you go. If you are drawn to more than one pile, listen to your intuition. You may have messages because it's a general reading in both the piles. I'm really confused myself which one do I want to go with personally. Okay, so I'll see you in your particular pile. Hello and welcome those of you who's picked the Carnelian, a crystal linked of course with the sacral chakra, and a wonderful stone when it comes to healing of the sacral chakra, creativity, passion, sexual wounds healing or sexuality, unfolding your own sexuality. Moon is related to the zodiac sign of Pisces, which talks again about a lot of creativity, the power of imagination, the dream worlds, everything which is otherworldly is the energy of the Piscean. Moon rules emotions, Moon rules mother. So some of you could literally be playing the mother role in that child's life, whoever we're going to be reading for today. Okay, child or children, we'll see what comes along. We will see how this plays along into your rest of the reading. The first thing I want to do today is I want to work with the astrology deck and see what cards come up for you. Future kids or present children as it falls for pile number 1. Future kids or the present kids for pile number 1. You may have a child who's born, by the way, just some channel messages. The birthday of your child could fall in March, could fall in June, May, or November. Okay, just some additional messages that I've got. I want to go with this planet card. We do have Uranus. Now this again brings me back to that energy of Pisces Aquarius spectrum. Your child may have very strong Pisces Aquarius in their birth chart, which makes them they have visions, they're going to be rebellious in a way, they are unpredictable, and they will bring about a lot of change in the community that they are born in the ecosystem that they are a part of. They are, rebels and revolutionaries. That is the energy of the child, okay, from a very young age for pile number 1s, okay. Let's see a house card for you. We have the 3rd house, which again talks about bravery, communication, neighborhood. So this child's immediate neighborhood will have a tremendous impact on it. Look at the amount of blues as well, and we are talking about the communication here. Very strong communicator, and strong, I mean, like, they will have strong opinions. They will trigger people around them for better or for worse. They have a slight, those slight mean kids who just say it what they mean it, and sometimes they don't really. No, actually, Spirit wants me to correct it. Like, say it what they mean it, in the sense, like, they're very well aware of what their words will have as an emotional impact on the other person. Okay, very brave, super courageous. Okay, this is a child who's clearly super, super brave. Okay, so far I only see one child. Let me just take out more cards and see if I have another kid come up for you. For most of you, this seems like a daughter. Okay, and let's see. I want to see a zodiac. Okay, wow. We have Uranus and Aquarius. That's like double confirmation. They are eccentric in their own way. They have unique ideas. They don't fit in, and you should not try to make them fit in as well. You perhaps will be very scared for this child until a certain age. Where will they fit in? How will the world accept them? They may have some very unique physical features as well, or the way they walk, or there's something very different about them. This is a different kid from the moment they were born, okay? Or, something in the hospital happens when this child is born, and you feel like, oh wow, that's rare. That's not something that happens. Like when, to give an example, when I was born, that hospital never used to have power cuts. It was literally at, where electricity is produced. I'm forgetting what it's called. Hold on. Wow, I just blanked out. Hydropower plant, something like that. That's where the hospital is. And for the first time in their entire life, since it existed, there was an electricity cut. Okay, there's something to also do with electricity and music. Okay, maybe this child would really, really like, and if you are the mother who's watching this, you would really get into electro music when you have this baby, if it's a biological child for you. I'm keeping this open, of course. It could or could not be. I'm not somebody who believes only in, like, you can have adopted kids, you can have, there's so many ways in which you can have a baby, and it may be even in the conceiving of the baby for you guys, in fact, because we do have the Uranus and the Aquarius. It's a very unique way in which the child comes to play. It's very sudden, it's unexpected. Some of you, it could be like literally an unexpected pregnancy, or you may go through some sort of a medical procedure in order for you to conceive this child. Okay, this child will have a lot of, the way they look at people. This child will give everybody the feeling that they know a lot. They know something that others don't know. There's a certain amount of mystery and mysticism, which this child will hold within them. They will suddenly say random things as a kid, which will make people go like, wow, that's a lot of wisdom coming from nowhere from this kid. Okay, again, I want to supremely emphasize on, they will be their own person. Do not try to, you don't have to set a path for them. This is a kid who will just set their own paths. This is a kid who will create paths for generations to come, and all you have to do is just allow them to be, accept them for who they are. That's a repeated message that I'm channeling. As a parent, all you have to do is take care of their emotional needs. This is an emotional child. Just because they're brave does not mean, of course, that they're not feeling anything or they're not scared. They process it very differently. They will care a lot about philanthropic endeavors. They want to be kind. They want to take the world to a better place. This is a child who would really be focused on such things, and these things will matter to them. Okay, they can actually grow up to be a scientist as well for some of you, or they could be literally just full power into mysticism, and they create their own spiritual path, okay, which somebody or nobody in this world has actually walked in. And people would be often surprised. While there would be a lot of highs and lows, a person with a Uranus in their chart will of course have a lot of highs and lows, and these two are like, oh my god, ups downs, but they often emerge victorious, and in such a way that it surprises the world. How is this child so lucky? Third house is the house of luck, okay, and this child will have a essence of luck to them, which will be almost everybody will know ki, in Hindi they say iska sab theek ho jayega. Okay, like everything will work out for this kid, so you don't have to worry. The only thing you don't have to do is create anxiety around them. Okay, and this is really somebody who's a visionary. Okay, this is a kid who's a visionary. All right, let's look at some emotional spectrum of this child or children. I don't think it's more than one kid. It seems like, at least today for this reading, Spirit just wants to talk about that one child of yours. If you are already a parent who has more than one kid, this is perhaps a reading where Spirit wants to come in and talk to you about that particular child. Okay, all right. We have weakness and strength and the number 10. October could be a significant month if they are not already in air sign with by this, March and February that I said. January, March, February could be their birth dates, or it could be October. With the strength and weakness, again, they can see through and they can see the future better than you. I want this pile to really understand that they know the world better than you do, and I know as a parent sometimes it's hard to believe, but they do understand even your strengths and weaknesses, and you have a lot to learn from them. They would always be people who would okay, look at this. This is again that Aquarius sign that reminds me of that, I don't know why suddenly these days in my readings I forget words. Okay, that's something very strange. I'm good with words. Okay, the pot from which, since I'm not able to remember what that word is, the pot from which the water is flowing. And this is a child who will grow up to be, and a classic Aquarius trait, they do not like to ask for help. Look at the amount of blues again showing up. They will struggle to ask for help, even though they do need help. And they do, this is a person who people will easily misunderstand, like they are not emotional, they are aloof, they are not emotionally connected, but they are. They totally are. It is their way of showing strength in their family by acting light about things, by acting logical about things, by acting like it doesn't bother them. But as a parent, you should always know that this is a child who's, of course, internalizing a lot. They will have a very strong connection to the spirit realm. They will have their own intuitive ways of looking at the world, and you need to allow that to thrive in this child. Okay, the amount of blues that I'm seeing, their throat chakra would be supremely active. Super good communicators. Okay, singers, musicians, writers, poets. Okay, everything to do with communication will be a strong forte for this child. We have inspired. Look at that. They did. I mean, that's an Aquarius Uranus trait, right? They classically inspire other people. They will form their own cult. For a few years, they may seem lonely, or you're thinking like, what is going to happen to this child? They are so unique. They may also be bullied to a certain extent as a kid for some of you. But again, I'm just strongly feeling like this is that genius kid. Okay, this is that genius kid who does not need anything but just acceptance and a safe place and love, and they will thrive on their own. They will make their own path, and others don't have to worry about how will they figure it out. See, suppressed and awakening. This is a supremely spiritual soul with strong gifts. But with that suppressed energy, I strongly feel that their past life, they have not been allowed to be who they are, and that's the karmic healing that they seek from you. Okay, that's the bond that they seek from you. Just accept them for who they are, let them thrive. It is not about the scorecard, it is not about the report card, it is not about don't feel embarrassed. Look at the amount of 11s here. 38 adds up to 11, 29 adds up to 11, this is 10. 111s. Right? They are a portal for your own ancestral healing. They break through a lot of bullshit that this particular lineage has been holding on for. And with this child coming in, okay, a very specific message for some of you. Maybe you belong to a family which perhaps is very religiously dogmatic, or has certain belief systems which do not serve, or you have certain rigid systems of working, and this child is going to break through all of them. Okay, and it will trigger a lot of people. I'm repeatedly saying this is a child who will trigger a lot of people, especially in their early teens, their mid-20s, their late 20s, all the way to their early 30s. But that is the change that they are here to create. That is the change that they are here to make, and you're going to allow this child to thrive. They are a gift to your family, and they're a gift to a larger community. Okay, let me move towards the Lenormand deck. Okay, I'm feeling drawn to this before we move to your tarot cards, and we will of course take some angel guidance as well. And what kind of activities would you like to do with them? Okay, what messages or guidance do we have for the future kid or the present kid for them? Okay, let's see. Fox, the number 14. See, intelligence and cunningness. Everybody does not have the same kind of intelligence, okay? But this child would be supremely self-sufficient, okay? In their own way, they know how to make their way in the world. Be mindful though, they can be sometimes over-giving to the underdogs, okay? Which means like they will, you know, those children like, if there's somebody who's in their class or who's super poor and they don't have like, you know, like sacrificing to the extent that what I'm trying to say is we help your child navigate through knowing when to. There's a certain amount of naivety that comes from being extremely kind, right? That kind of naivety may exist in this kid, but they do know how to make their own way, okay? They do know how to be clever when they want to be clever or when they want to get out of a situation. And words, using words, they will. Look at that. Knowledge is their strength. If you can encourage this child to read, I think most of them would do their own research. They would love the internet. They would be okay, for this career, this child, the career could actually be on the internet itself, okay, apart from being a scientist or being on the internet. I'm channeling New York repeatedly, so that could have something to do with this child. But books and knowledge and stories, they have their own world and they make their own stories. This child could also be somebody who has, you know, those children who make these imaginative stories and then they tell their parents like, oh, this happened and that happened. And there would be more than one road for this kid, okay? More than one road for this kid. They will constantly change their careers. They perhaps will go through a couple of, you know, multiple marriages, and all of that is their path to cover. The only message I'm repeatedly getting from Spirit is like, as if they just want to tell me like, tell them to not worry about this kid, but just rather create a safe space of acceptance. Tell them to not get jittered, because the child would only react to how you react to what's going on in their life. Otherwise, it's more like it's a blessed kid, okay? It's a kid who's here to create tremendous change in the world. Okay, that's what it's like breaking away ancestral curses, breaking away dogmatic systems, and they will take their own time. They will only take their own time, because geniuses don't, you know, typically it's not happening like at a very young age, right? They have to go through their own dark night of the soul awakening. They have to go through their own, I don't know, very specific message, and perhaps triggering to hear for any parent. They may go through a drug problem in their life, okay? And you got to allow that phase to happen. You may not even get to know of it, because I don't think that's a part of their life that they will. They're very secretive as a person, okay? So don't think that you know it all about them. They're not telling you. If they don't want you to know something, you won't know. Supremely protected by Archangel Michael. Very strong air sign energies here. So in your child's birth chart, there could be like strong Libra, Aquarius or Gemini placement. They are supremely protected by Archangel Michael. Whenever you feel worry for this kid, pray to Archangel Michael and pray for their guidance, and they are protecting your child, okay? This is a very, very protected child. They have an army of spirit guides supporting them. Crown chakra, I mean, I cannot emphasize enough on them being psychic, being spiritual, being awakened. They will have their own vision. They will have their own way of doing things, and you will be sometimes surprised. I literally heard that. How is this child talking like this? I have never known of all these things. I was like, you know, it's a kind of a kid who's interested in things that nobody has been. Let's say like, you know, you have always been very religious and this child is an atheist, and you don't know where is this opposition coming from, or you've been the, you know, very scientific or very mainstream or very, you know, I like to call it product of structure kind of people, and this child just comes in and starts talking mysticism and crystals and past life regressions and all of that. This child may actually, for very few of you, have very clear memories of, you know, past life. And regardless whether if it's past life or not, their memory would be very sharp. Again, philanthropy, I cannot emphasize enough on this. Angels clearly confirm this. This child will do a lot for the world, and blessed be. I love this kid's energy, okay? I mean, I'm just absolutely in love with this kid, okay? I don't know why, like I'm just doing a general reading, but I'm feeling a lot of love in my heart, and they would really want the world to be a better place, and they will not hold back their opinions. They will not hold back from fighting the biggest devil when it comes to fighting. And they would have that courage to break through and fight for the right people, okay? I'm going to move towards tarot and see what comes up for you. I want you guys to leave me the Aquarius zodiac sign if you have reached this part of this reading, because that tells me and everybody else you've picked this pile and you're with me still, okay? Just type Aquarius on your phone and you'll find the emoji that shows 4 dots, okay? Let us look at your tarot cards now. So what does Spirit want to tell us? I strongly channeled only one kid, but it's of course possible that we get messages for more than one kid here, okay? Tarot. So I'm using the After Tarot, of course, and see what is it that... Okay, I'm noticing something. I'm struggling today with the shuffling of this deck for your reading, and that's not what is usual because it's typically a very slippery deck. I again feel like some of you may struggle a little bit to understand this child or even in conceiving this child, okay? Okay, what does Spirit want to tell us about the future kids of file number? Okay, we have Ace of Wands. What does Spirit want to tell us about children of file number 1? See, I'm sometimes saying children and sometimes saying future because I strongly feel like some of you in this file already may have kids, okay? Okay, we have Two of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, now I've got a message. Some of you guys may have the child that we were speaking about in the first part of the reading could be a younger kid. Okay. And maybe for whatever reason, Spirit wants to talk about the younger kid, but could be a younger kid. We have Death. We have Page of Wands. And we have Two of Swords. We have 2 twos here already. Okay. Okay, we have the 7 of Cups. Okay, wait, I'm just taking the 7 of Cups. 2 more cards. We're going to take 2 more cards. Okay. Queen of Pentacles. I just knew she'll show up for this reading. This is funny. Okay, sometimes as a reader, I know if you're a tarot reader who's watching this, you'll agree. Sometimes in a reading, you just know which card will pop out, right? And tell me in the comment section below if you know what I mean. Like sometimes you're shuffling and you know that this card will come and that card comes, and it's just very funny how that happens. Okay. I'm calling it funny because I don't know what else to call it, but never mind. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, I've noticed for the first time in this particular deck, I've never seen it, so there's a reason why I'm seeing it now. Do you see on the coin, she's looked, there's a face, her own reflection is there. Okay, I've never noticed that about this deck, okay? And I'll come to the inference of it. Let's talk about this. The underlying energy is the 5 of Cups. Okay, classic Aquarius. All right. First of all, for some of you, like I said, this could be a younger child. So there could be actually 2 kids that you have. Your elder kid would be a, how do I explain it? The elder one would be very by the books, okay? And that is somewhere where the younger kid could be trying to break away from, they don't want to be anything that the elder ones have been. Okay, if they have if you have multiple kids, like more than 2, then maybe the kid that I'm channeling for today is just very adamant that I don't want to be how the elder one is, okay? Because somehow the elder one seems like, you know, like by the books, like they've done everything tick, 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 and wow, I'm getting very weird and different messages. Your elder kid, if you have 2 children, and I feel like strongly for this file there could be like 2 children, the elder kid may actually go through in their midlife a certain kind of a crisis which will shake this younger one, or it could be like in their late 20s, something happens to their sibling which is a mental health thing, or which is like, you know, when you see your elder sibling go through like everything, they do everything correctly, and then something terrible happens to you. Sometimes the younger sibling feels like they did everything by the books and yet this didn't work out for them. So I am clear that I am not going this route. Okay, and that may be a very impactful moment in that child's life. Okay, in fact both the kids' life. Okay, the elder kid may actually go through this because they have been trying to, wow, this suddenly I have like too many messages for this file, so I'm just trying to, I'm a clairaudient, so I'm trying to like not confuse you because my head is just going boom 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 boom. Okay, either you or your spouse have a tremendous impact on the elder kid. Okay, I'm literally getting a very specific storyline, so stay with me. The elder kid is very, very influenced by your spouse. Okay, and that leads them to almost want to be like their mother or be like their father, whichever you know, spouse side it is. And this other kid would be able to see from a very young age, this is a very psychic kid, the younger one that I'm talking about, would be able to see the pitfalls of the journey that the elder one is taking. But because they see one of their parents also be in the similar way, they may not be able to call it out, or they may not be able to protect at the right time, but they would intuitively be aware why this plan is not going to work, why this road is not going right, okay? And this internal struggle is something which the younger child will have their own, you know, when you see something but you can't articulate it because you don't know if you know the world enough, because you're the younger one in the family, and while the elder one is trying to, it's almost like they're so influenced by the likes and dislikes of your spouse, and they really crave for that validation. There's also a grandparent now coming in, which is like maybe the elder kid is very much attached to the grandparents as well, and they want their love and they want their affection, okay? It's like the young elder one is seeking a lot of validation, approval of their family, and the younger one, because they notice that this is not a foolproof plan, this family has its own issues and I'm not okay to like kind of get validations from them, they would want to do their own thing, they would want to go through their own road, okay? And they would be supremely inspired. They will juggle a lot in their life, and sometimes people may seem, because it seems like as if your family has always been like, you know, this is how it works, this is how things are supposed to be, or so the younger kid may sometimes come across slightly confused or slightly troubled or doesn't know what they're doing, but they actually do. It's the younger one which is the wiser kid and knows that no, the path that my ancestors have led is not a very wise one, so I'm going to create my own. And while they're at that journey, they're juggling a lot, okay? Very intuitively decisive. This would be a very creative person as well in their own way, the younger kid. The elder kid that I'm channeling for, post their middle life and perhaps after a divorce, would have a completely 360-degree transformation, okay? So you actually have two kids, and it's funny, like I felt it that maybe in the tarot we will get more information about. So you may have two kids, and the second child goes through a drastic transformation after their divorce, okay? And they go like, I am ready to be who I want to be, and they will surprise a lot of people because they start walking towards their own intuition. And now this, you know, that there could be a phase in your life wherein the elder kid does not really want to be around you or be around any of their family members because they feel like, I want to discover myself, okay? And yes, because I'm reading for you, you will go through those moments of deep disappointments, deep sorrow, like I couldn't save this kid, I couldn't, and that's what Spirit wants to tell you through me. Not everything can actually be managed by you, right? Every soul is here to play out its own karma, and you got to accept that, okay? You will definitely, regardless of, you know, how their journeys plan out for both the kids, there is abundance and financial security, okay? You will of course provide a very stable financial space for both your kids. So by the time your kids are in their teenage, there's clearly a lot of financial wealth. I feel like for most of you, you guys may actually inherit a lot of financial wealth as well. But if that's not the case, you yourself are very, very abundant, okay? And in the younger kid, I think you guys will see a part of you, okay? In the younger kid, you will see a part of you and you will resonate with their journey a lot, okay? And you would be this strong pillar. I feel like you're more closer to your younger kid after a certain age, because you're that strong pillar that really understands where their journey is going, while the rest of the world thinks that they're delusional or they don't know what they're doing. And kudos to you, you would be able to see that vision that your child is born with, okay? If you are living this for a particular child, then Spirit just wants to come in and affirm that be patient with this kid and things will work out for this child, okay? Wow, that was a lot of messages that came in through a zigzag way. All right, I'm going to move towards some activities which you may want to do. Okay, both your kids, okay, one kid, there's something to do with the marriage of the children, okay? The elder kid will have 2 marriages. The younger kid will either not marry at all, or the younger kid may actually marry by the time like they're in their 40s or something, okay? So you may not be able to see the wedding of the younger kid, okay? So let's talk about some activities. How should you take care of them? How should you take care of your children? Okay, we talked about money, financial wealth. Okay, how you approach your career, pile ones, would be a very big influence in their own careers and their financial success. So how they see you manage money, how they see you work, how they see you approach your career will create a tremendous mental impact on them, and in a positive sense, right? So I feel you should strongly stay focused on building your own career, building your own wealth, because at a point of time they would be really thankful that this parent ensured that they are well provided for, that they have a secure base, etc., etc. Okay, burning bowl ritual. I think what another thing that you should do as a parent with them. Okay, wow, some very particular activities coming in for you guys. You should teach your children to release from a very young age, you know, like use the full moon and make it like a ritual as a parent and a child, to sit down together and make them write things that they do not want to feel again, they don't want to experience again, some bad experience, some bad journeys that they've had. Write it and burn it away. Okay, this will really help, especially your elder kid, and you know, burning away things. Okay, ask them to manage money, okay, and save money, and teaching them how to manage wealth. Okay, this is something like a very cute ritual again you can do. Drinking tea together, just spending the morning cup of coffee, morning cup of tea with this child, and that is a ritual which they will, okay, this is again that, you know, that younger child connecting. They may actually be drawn to crystals from a very young age, your younger kid. Okay, I've loved doing this. This was very unique and I didn't know what to expect from this reading. I hope you found some resonance with your personality, with the kind of kids, and I know this is kind of future, so a lot of you may go like, I don't know whether that will happen or not. It was very specific though. I didn't channel a lot for the spouse here. Okay, some of you may actually marry a Scorpio, because I do have the death card, but I have a feeling like as if, you know, you and your spouse have very different ways of raising children. Okay, and after a certain time you may allow your children to pick up whatever they want to pick up from whichever parent they like. Okay, because I don't think it's like two people raising the very different personalities, and I've typically anyway seen it with siblings, very different personalities picking up very different skill sets and personality traits from different parents. And this is not the kind of family wherein I see both parents having the same vision for their children. Okay, and then the children do something absolutely different as well, and that's the beauty of being a parent, of course. I hope you've loved this. I hope you leave me. I want you guys to leave me a little purple heart, because oh my god, spirituality was supremely strong for this. You guys are raising some generation changing, ancestral healing kids coming your way, and I wish you luck. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful relationship always with your loved ones. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile 2s, those of you who picked this beautiful piece of turquoise, and those of you who like to know my pile selection. I have gone with this one as my primary selection. So this is what I'm also very excited for, you and your children. What is the relationship? How is your relationship with your spouse? Pile 1 was very interesting. What are your future kids like? How many children are there? Etc, etc. We've kept it pretty open, so whatever gets channeled. And I've picked pile 3 as my secondary one. We do have the energy of turquoise and magician. Magician has that energy of Gemini and a great communicator. This is a person who's a charmer with words. They will literally be brewing spells with word and they would not realize it. This is a child like that, okay? The magician also has that energy of duality, so some of you may have 2 children, and I'm already seeing that. Unlike pile 1 where there was just a lot of zigzag, this one feels like there is definitely more than one kid so far from just this one card. Also, this is a child who would be very resourceful. The word I'm channeling here is strong resourcefulness. So they know how to make the right friends, they know how to pick the right career. I mean, this is a very clear-headed personality already channeling in. Even though they may have anxiety issues, okay? Let us look at, like pile 1, I want to start off with the astrology deck and see what comes up for your future kids or your current kids. So you as a parent, and what Spirit wants to tell us about your children. Okay? Okay, hold on. Pile number 2. Children, future kids or present. Pile number 2 is future kids or present. Okay, we have one card out, which is the house card. We have the 10th house, career, fame, success, reputation. These are things the child will care for from a very young age, and they will surprise you. I feel like surprise you because you may not be somebody who's watching this reading who's very academically sharp, but this child would be like, they know they're going to the Oxford, and you'll be like, okay, then. Yeah, so even if they're not academically sharp, I mean, I'm just giving that as an example, they will have a very clear vision. Like, you know, those kind of children who like at the age of 12 are talking like, I'm going to do this business, and this is how I'm going to do it. They may have a very strong Capricorn in their chart as well. And they would know how to achieve in life. And achieving, winning, succeeding, these are things that really matter to this child, okay? Let us now pull some planet. Okay, I feel like let's go with this. Okay, we have Neptune, imagination and an ability to connect to, okay, this child may actually astral travel or sleepwalk. Okay, at a young age they may sleepwalk, and they could be great story writers. Okay, they would love the color green, they would love the color blue, they would love the colors, they'd love fairy tales. Okay, there's something to do with fairy tales. They would love the mermaid and the fishes, and this is a child who wants to travel and see the world. Okay, they may be an old soul, by the way, so they have been here on this planet before, and through different moments they will show you like glimpses of their very Saturnian energy. I'm somehow channeling, even though the card is Neptune. This is a very serious kid. Okay. I don't know why I'm feeling giggly. Like, you will be sometimes a little surprised. How did I get this serious child? Okay, like, why are they so serious about life? That's what you're feeling, okay? We have Virgo. We talked about serious kids, and here's a Virgo showing up. Okay, Earth signs energy now showing up. Of course, Virgo rules the 6th house. This is also a very clean child, very systematic, very, you know, like some children, you don't have to teach them how to clean their room. You don't have to teach them what time to go to bed. They just do it. Okay, and I'm not saying that they're a good boy or a good girl in the sense of like they always go by the books. It was the first pile that I felt like they could be a by the books energy, but this child just is very organized. Okay, they know what they want, they're very specific, they're very particular. They would have these peculiar things that they like it the way they like it. They want their pizza to be a certain way, they want their food to be a certain way, they want their bag to look a certain kind. They know what they want. Okay, clarity of thought. Mentally, they're very clear. This is the color of bag I want. This is what I want to eat. This is what I'm going to do. And they don't need anybody's opinions. Okay, they're not the kind of people who would anyway hear opinions. So they would be very clear and cut to the point, like, you know, wow, we have the Pisces energy as well showing up. They could have that Pisces Virgo axis playing strongly. They may also have a Virgo North Node. Okay. All right, I'm going to move towards some personality or emotional spectrum. What cards come out for pile number 2? This is a very steady kid. Okay, very steady kid. In fact, other kids look up to this child to like for guidance, help me with my homework, something like that. Okay, we have too many cards popping out. Hold on. They will, of course, enjoy being outdoors, like I said, and nature has a very calming effect on this child. You should definitely allow this child to be in the nature, be outdoors, and it will help them tremendously clear their mental fog. We have inspired. Wow, this is the same card that came for pile 1. Some of you may have come from pile 1 as well. Inspired. I think now this message is very different from the pile 1's message for some reason. It could be that you have a tremendous impact on this child's imagination, and you inspire them in the good way or in the bad way to be who they are. They really care about your validation. Pile number 2s. Okay, pile 1s had this energy like they don't give a flying F to what their parents think. Pile 2 is not like that. They really care to be the best, to be number 1, and that's somewhere to do for you. They really want to repeatedly hear that yes, you've done a good job from their parents. Okay, we have ungrateful and thankful. Love this. 37 and 38, these could be some significant ages. Wow, there's a bike that's making a strong sounds. They may actually have a thing for bikes. Suddenly, Spirit wanted me to draw my attention towards that bike. Bikes could be something that they really care about. You may conceive this child when you're 37 and 38. That's another message I've strongly got. Thankful and ungrateful. They do not like people around them who have a problem with every solution that they bring up. Okay, these are kids who will be solution driven, who are very practical, who even though they have a strong power of imagination, look at that balance, that beautiful balance of the Virgo and the Pisces, right? While they can imagine, while they are creative, they're very solution focused as a child. So if you sit around them and if you crib about, and there's a lot of green, which means they're very heart center open, right? If you crib and tell them like the world is a terrible place, nothing goes my way, and you're telling them what didn't go right at your work, they would not want to sit with you, okay? They want to sit and listen to what is beautiful, what is great. They want to hear inspiring stories. They would want you to tell them about great people, astronauts. I don't know why I've specifically channeled space. They want to maybe become an astronaut, or the universe really are the kind of stories and the fairy tales that they really want to hear. This is a child I'm literally visualizing who wants to hear from their adults. The scope is unlimited. Okay, and this is a child who you will tremendously benefit from a very young age if you walk with them and you teach with them the power of gratitude journaling, listing things that they're grateful for. And maybe they see you do all of this. Maybe you already are somebody who's very focused on these things, and that in itself becomes a very inspired factor for them, okay? All right, let us get one more card here and see what shows up. We have unwise and wisdom. Love this. Okay, for this one, I really feel like they will make some, sometimes I literally channel that message. When people think that they have a grip over their life, you've seen those stories we've heard seen in Bollywood and Hollywood, right? Like they feel like they know where they want to go. They have a very clear understanding. They are very serious about life, and yet something happens and life shows them, hey, I'm the daddy. Right? Things are not always going to be the way you want them to, and that is the wisdom that will hit them. Perhaps at the age of 19, around the age of 19, they may, let's say, I'm giving an example, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly that, but let's say they really want to go to a particular university or a particular college or to a particular space, and they've always worked hard for it, okay? One of the life lessons that they will learn is they cannot take it for granted that just because they've put in all their effort, they need to allow universe to surprise them. They need to allow destiny to surprise them. And maybe this they get from you who's watching this reading. And that's why I feel like Spirit wants to come in and tell you this at this stage, whatever stage you are at. Keep that power of imagination alive, because it will have an impact on your child's way of looking at life, okay? Eventually, they will of course be very, very wise, okay? And they will help other people learn. But failure is something through which they learn. Rejection is something through which they learn, because they prepare a lot. This is a child who will do a lot of preparation. They will read books. They will be always trying to be prepared for every interview. And then yet when, those moments come when things don't work out for you, it will have like that impact of that shock on them, and it will make them wiser. Okay, that is a lesson that this child will repeatedly go through, and perhaps that's also your lesson to go through. You will prepare the kid absolutely bang on for an examination, for example, and they still don't score as much as they possibly could have or should have. And that surprise that both of you experience is universe teaching both of you to be grateful for the marks you got, okay, and rather than worrying about the 5 marks that you didn't, okay. It seems like as if you both are very serious people, you and your kid, okay? And that energy is very repeatedly showing up here. I want to look at some Lenormand deck to see more messages about your children. Okay, your children. We have mice, which is 23. At a particular age, this child may go through a very troubled physical health, like going to the hospital and all, but Spirit just wants to say like it's going to be okay, okay? Like it's not something that will, of course, at that moment you may be very stressed out, and it will cost a lot of money as well, the treatment, but you're going to sail through fine, okay? For whatever reason, Spirit wanted to come in and tell me that now, but it's just something that you don't have to get over anxious about. But yes, there would be a phase in life wherein there would be a financial hit that you take because of this. Love this, gentleman. This could be a son that I'm talking about specifically, okay? And their manners would actually be very noted by their adults, okay? This is a very well-mannered kid. You would, from a very young age for this child, get compliments. I love how well-mannered this child is. I love how, and there's a lot of spirit protection. I think you are also a very protective person, and tremendously, I mean, everybody protects their kids, but you will be very protective about this kid, and people would be able to sense that about you, okay? I am going to take some more Lenormand cards. I've channeled more messages. It somehow feels like for a male kid, anchor. This child will actually anchor you. You may be somebody who has you don't settle in easy. 35, 36, 37, 38, these could be some significant age that you actually conceive this child, or for this particular child's age as well. And you may have very similar life stories. You and this child may have very similar life stories in certain ages, like my mother also did this at 37, or my father also did this at 38. This child would also be very influenced by their father figure, whoever is the father figure. So if you're somebody who's watching this and is the father figure, then it's for you. But this child will have a tremendous impact or influence from their father. Okay, and they anchor you. They're very stable as a person. They're very emotionally matured. This is not a very reactive kid who throws a lot of tantrums, and they will anchor you as a person. Okay, pile once I noticed that tarot gave us information about more than one kid, and I'm noticing this pattern that somehow in this part of the reading there's the same thing that's happening. I feel like this part of the reading we're talking about one kid specifically, and for you it seems like a boy. Okay, let's see. We have the cross, 36. See, look at those repeating numbers, 37, 35, 36. There's a significant age there. Okay. Okay. Very strong message and a very clear message. You have either played the similar role with them in the past lifetime, or you've lost a pet or somebody near and dear to you who takes birth in the body of this child. Okay. But there's a past life connection. There's something like as if you've been connected through spirit, anchored together for a very long time. Okay. We'll take one more card from the Lenormand deck. Pile twos. Okay. We have lady. Okay, now we do have a girl showing up. And it's funny, I was thinking about a girl, and this girl showed up, and look at the mice and the animals. Okay, very specific messages and a very funny way to channel it as well. This seems like a family which has somehow very traditional ways of raising kids, or maybe that's not you, but that's how your children eventually become. So I see a son who's very serious, who's very driven, who's very organized, who's very focused, and in fact money was something that this child would understand and manage well. And now I have a child, a little girl, who's very imaginative, creative, bonded with nature, very feminine, soft, almost to the level of HSP, which means like this child could be very sensitive, very aware of other people's emotions, and perhaps likes to flow through life. This is not a child who would have a big plan and I want a lot of money and I want a lot of fame. This child is very happy with the very least. Okay, this child is very happy with absolutely the bare minimum, and she's literally the nightingale of the life. I channel the word nightingale very specifically. Maybe that's a bird that you care about, but this kid is the nightingale of the house. Okay, she may be a singer, she may sing really well, or she may really paint well. There's some sort of an art form that this child is good at, and it brings a lot of joy. And these two would be bonded like crazy. Okay, like the brother is very protective of the sister is very protective of the brother. So I now see like a boy and a girl. Okay, now I'm going to move towards the tarot and see what messages come up for the children. Okay, so let's start off with should we start with the tarot then? Let's start with the tarot. Okay, we'll take some angel card guidance and we'll take some self-love cards to see how to take care of these beautiful beings that you would birth. Okay, for some of you it could be that the second child is adopted, by the way, but most of you it feels like a biological kid, but it could be like some of you the second child is adopted. Okay, pile 2, children. Pile 2, children. Okay, some of you in pile number 2s could not find resonance, and spirit just wants to tell me you may want to listen to pile 1. Okay, very specific message. So if everything that I've said so far does not sound like your life, you may want to go to listen to pile 1, because that could be your life. Okay, pile 2s, children. Pile 2s, children. Children for pile 2. Okay, let's see. We have the Tower. Wow, we started off with a bang. You may believe that you're not ready to be a parent when the child shows up into your life, okay? By the way, Page of Cups, and they make you childlike, they make you playful, they make you get out of your energy, which is clearly very serious as a person. Look at that, Sun. Children, once you become a parent, you will bring in a lot of abundance into your life, pile number 2s. Your success will rise, your fame will rise, your money will rise, your kids will be very lucky for you in the social standing space, okay? 8 of Wands, and you may be quite surprised when I say this if you are not somebody who is thinking, like I said, this seems like as if this pile is not thinking, and it may be happening sooner for you than later. You may be becoming a parent much sooner than you have planned in your life, okay? Hanged Man, which is like literally leave it to the universe, and the Pisces energy returning. We have Leo, Pisces, Scorpio. We have the 5 of Cups. Some repeat cards between 1 and 2 though, huh? 5 of Cups. We have 5 of Swords. That's 2 5s for you here. We'll take 3 more cards. Pile number 2, children. Pile number 2, children. Children. Pile number 2. Okay. We have 2 of Pentacles and Page of Wands. Again, these 3 cards were present in pile number 1 as well. Pile number 2, children. Pile number 2, children. Okay. We have 4 of Cups and the World. Okay. We have 1 extra card for you. So we place it here. Underlying energy is the 10 of Swords. Okay. First message I'm clearly channeling here is that some of you may go through a terrible emotional phase before you become a parent, okay? This could be like there's a death in the family, you've had some financial loss, or something's happened which is not very happy, and then the first child you have brings in that crazy happy news. It's like breakthrough, it's like that happiness, and hence even though it is sudden, you would welcome it, okay? Some of you may have lost a parent when one of these children are conceived, and you kind of see it as if your parent is returning back into your life, okay? Specific messages I know, but I gotta say what I gotta see, okay? We do have again 2 kids here. In the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it is only 1 child. So now I'm more confirmed that it is 2 children for you, okay? And they will have not a lot of age gap. So let's say, I would say like 3 to 5 years is the age gap between these 2 children. And again, like I said, they have a tremendously strong bond, okay? They can literally gang up against you. That's the bond I'm feeling. I do have the strong fixed signs energy here. So which is Aquarius, Scorpio, which is again repeated here, Leo, which is repeated here, and Taurus, okay? These could be some significant zodiac signs. As a family, you guys will travel a lot, okay? And traveling experiences, traveling memories will be the kind of things that bond you guys, apart from spiritual activities as well. This is a family that I see chanting together, meditating together, visiting pilgrimage sites. Those kind of activities are really important for this family to keep you guys together. What I love about this spread, which is very, very beautiful, is that whenever an individual in your family, it could be the girl, it could be the boy, it could be you, it could be your spouse, whoever is going through a bad time in life, it's like the family comes together, okay? It's like your house is that safe place where people always find joy, where people always find abundance, where people always find a place to be playful, to be happy, and you don't need a reason. No matter what has happened in your life, the worst is over. After tarot is like the worst is over, and there is sun, there's sunshine. Whenever you see the sun card anywhere, it literally brings in a lot of light to the rest of the decks, okay? Because you are a family which is connected through faith. Okay, there's strong faith here. There is strong that energy of, I literally see people sitting together and praying together, people going out and to the beach and having some great memories together. And this is a family that would not be shaken by a lot of money, less money. The joy in the house stays as is, okay? And this is a soul family that you've of course and definitely known in the past. Whenever you guys are together as a unit, you will have tremendous success. You guys may actually have a family business, or you may start a family business with your children, okay? And it will reap in a lot of benefits because you guys have very complementary skill sets, okay? Traveling again is very strongly indicated. And as a family, you may have multiple sources of income, okay? Like you have rent income, like you have real estate income, and you have a family business which is running. Money is very interconnected for this particular family, okay? And it feels like, okay, hold on, I'm trying to channel some messages here. You may have a back problem and your child may encounter it. Very picky, as all of you, as the personalities, all of you have very peculiar ways of living. Four of Cups talks about you want what you want and you're not ready to accept anything less than it. They may pick this from you as a parent, but each of them have a very specific way of wanting things. And even though it's very complementary, lucky you, lucky me, it would be very peculiar for the rest of the world. Okay, it's a very unique combinations of different kinds of people coming together and working beautifully as a unit, but being very different to the rest of the world. Okay, again, I'm repeatedly channeling that a spiritual community, a spiritual act, a spiritual ritual will be the one that sails you through all the disappointments in life, and your children will be a source of joy through which you also sail through a lot of troubles in life. You know, like this is the kind of energy that I feel like, you know, no matter what's happening in whatever aspect of life, you come back home and you see the kids and you feel like, for this, it's all worth it. Okay, for this, it's all okay. And I'm going to channel a very triggering message for some of you. Before these two children happen for you, you may lose a child. Okay, like it could be like you go through an abortion, or it could be a dear pet to you and that was a child for you and you lose that child. There's something that happens which is terrible, and then these children come into your life. Okay, so you may lose something and then this child comes into you. These two kids come into your life and they fill your life with all the joy and all the love, and you can feel that spirit protection of, you know, those loved ones that you've lost, literally protecting your family. This family is very protected. Okay, traveling again and traveling overseas is a repeated channel message I've got for you guys. Okay, all of you would be great communicators. It's like a family that everybody can speak so well that, you know, if you're on a dinner table and you start arguing, like that night you're not going to bed on time. Okay, because everybody has an opinion and everybody has something to say. Okay, I love this energy though. I absolutely love this energy. All right, let's take some angel guidance. Some angel guidance for pile number 2 and their family. Okay, pile number 2 and family. Wow, I don't know why I said family. This was supposed to be children. Okay, for whatever reason, that is family. All right. Pile number 2 and family and children. I'm repeatedly saying the word family, so clearly pile angels wants to tell us something about your family. Indigo children, love this, guys. I mean, this is the best part about this reading today. I mean, come on, you're doing a reading about children and indigo children shows up. The person you're inquiring is an indigo, meaning a highly sensitive natural born leader. I think this is that daughter that I'm also channeling. They may be animal whisperers. Animals may be strongly protecting this family. You may want to, you know, donate to animals for the benefit of your kids, and these kids are leaders in their own forte. Okay, they will lead the world. Okay, wow, love is the message. You are a light worker who has come to earth to teach about love. I feel one of your kids would be very left-brained and the other one would be supremely right-brained, and they would get the best out of, you know, both the parents. Okay, there's a lot of love in this house. I'm seriously seeing a lot of love, a lot of angelic protection towards these kids, towards you, towards the family. And I'm literally seeing a dining table here with a full family sitting. There's also, of course, a grandmother figure that I'm channeling. Work with Archangel Michael to let go of what no longer serves you or your purpose. Okay, this is a very specific message for some of you. This family and this life is actually very close to you. See that tower to that 8 of Wands? It's right around the corner. But there's something that you're holding on to which has created a blockage. Okay, wow, look at that. Parents, children, everything's come up in your reading. Okay, your inner child healing is also very important for you to be a great parent, pile number 2s. That's of course a message with that parent card showing up. Forgiving your parents, loving your parents for whatever they are and whoever they are. And that healing will of course also lead to these kids having a great life. But if that's not a message for you, I really feel like you need to work with Archangel Michael and allow and give permission to Archangel Michael to release anything that is holding you back from having this beautiful family and this beautiful kids that clearly is in your destiny here. Okay, I am going to move towards the self-love cards. If you have loved this reading so far and this sounds like the kind of home you want, this sounds like the kind of children you would want, or you may already have these kids. Okay, I'm repeatedly looking at C here, by the way, pile number 2s. I want you guys to leave me a seashell. Okay, a seashell. Can you see this? You guys may actually collect seashells together. Those kind of activities would be very playful energy together, okay? So leave me your seashell in the comment section below and tell us that you've picked the same pile that I did, and it helps me know that you are still here until this part. Okay, so let's see some self-love cards to see how will this family bond and what are the bonding activities or what are the things that they learn from you. Okay, aromatherapy. I literally said learn from you, but I didn't say that for pile number 1. Maybe you are somebody who's curious about aromatherapy. This is also something that your house will have. Your house smells heavenly. That's some specific message that I've channeled. And again, that girl's energy is back in this reading. So that little girl will have, wow, look at that. You know, she's literally the sweetest thing that the world has ever seen. I'm talking about your daughter. You will have a daughter which, like, the world will say, I have never met a more sweet kid than this. I have never met a more angelic. Okay, the word I'm channeling is angelic. Okay, this is an angel presence. Wherever this child goes, she creates this beautiful, calming, sweet effect. Okay, these are some activities which you may be doing with your child, you know, like aromatherapy, fragrance, spas, cooking together, baking could be one of the activities that they really like. And I literally heard, like, you're not a baker is what you said to yourself. And you would be surprised the kind of things this little girl makes you do and feel playful and good about it. Okay, wow, I just said you would be surprised that you could. Okay, make a meal. Cooking and the kitchen and the dining table was a repeated area that I saw. I'll give you guys one more. Okay, all right, sex it is. Their sexual concepts and their openness towards sex and sensuality will clearly be influenced by how they see their parents. Okay, look at that. Again the beach. There's something to do with beaches and this pile. Okay, I have absolutely loved doing this. There's so much love in this reading. I cannot tell you how my heart space feels. I strongly also suggest this pile to do heart chakra healing, by the way, and work with the lavender herb. Manifest this life, guys. This looks so beautiful to me. It's not funny. It's just absolute love and a lot of love in this family. Do leave me the shell emoji to tell me you love this reading as well, and I will see you in your next reading. Take care. Hello and welcome, my beloved pile 3s. Those of you who picked Amethyst and those of you who like to know my personal pile selections, I had picked pile number 2 as my major reading and pile 3 as my secondary one. So I want to see what additional messages I get. If you've come from pile 2 to 3, do let me know in the comment section below that you picked the same selection as me. And if you felt the immense love, oh my god, that pile 2s have, I'm super excited for pile 3s. Look at the amount of psychic energies, spirituality already showing up with the first 2 things that you've picked. Amethyst is the crown chakra stone, and High Priestess talks to the energy of Scorpio. She is the all-seer, she's the all-knower. I literally channel the word your kid would be little Miss Know-It-All. So I channel the word Miss first, so this could be a daughter that we're looking at. For some of you, I feel like it is pile 3 could be an extension of pile 2, by the way, wherein we've seen 2 children there and Spirit wants to give in more messages. If you just picked pile 3, I feel like you may have a message in either pile 1 and pile 2, because I'm strongly feeling today that pile 3 is an extension of either 1 and 2, and it's giving us additional messages for whichever pile you had picked. Okay, doesn't have to be that you were drawn to any of those piles, but that's the energy that I'm channeled or I'm feeling with just that first card. Okay, let us move towards first how we started for everybody else. Hold on, I'm trying to sort my decks on the left here. Hold on. Okay, we have the astrology deck that we've started for everybody with. We of course already see the energy of Scorpio strongly present. This child will help you also become a better human being is the first thing that I've already channeled. Children are meant to make parents better, but you would be super motivated to be a better person. Okay, if you've been very revengeful in life, if you've been always a certain kind of a person who had certain issues that you could not get over with, this child will inspire you to break through the molds that you have always struggled with. Okay, let us get information about children for pile number 3. Children for pile number 3. Thank you. As I said in the intro, if you've skipped it, it could be like I'm channeling for the future kid or I'm channeling for a present child. Take what resonates, of course, and let's see what comes up. Okay, we have one planet card out. Pile number 3, we have a zodiac card out. I want a house card. And let's see, I want to go with this one. Okay, let's see what shows up. I'm suddenly very thirsty, so hold on. Okay, this is, I flipped it and then I said, oh, my camera is not on, and I flipped it back again. This is just insane. 8th house and Scorpio. Come on. Okay. We have Uranus. Okay. This was also in pile 1. So if you've come from pile 1. And, oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. If you've come from pile 1 and if you were drawn to 1 and 3, this is insane. It's just insane. Right? Okay. Aquarius, 8th house, Uranus and High Priestess. This is a kid who will surprise everybody around them all the damn time. They are a rebel. They will have tremendous transformative effects on everybody in their life. They will be supremely interested from a very young age into occult and spirituality. And okay, here I do feel like, again, I'm strongly feeling like pile 3 is an extension of 1 and 2. But if you've just picked 3 and this is the, you weren't really drawn to 1 and 2, it could be that you do have, this could be like you have a you don't raise kids biologically, but you raise kids if you've only picked pile 3, okay? This is for those who have only picked pile 3 and they were not drawn to pile 1 or pile 2. If you were not drawn to pile 1 or pile 2, it is like as if you are associated to a orphanage, or you have you're raising your niece, nephew, somebody else's children, and you're very, very connected to them. If you have picked one of the 2 piles, 1 or 2, then you know that this is an extension of everything that I'm going to say in this reading is an extension of what we've already covered in pile number 1, okay? Also for pile 3s, those of you who feel like, no, I'm very sure I want to have my own kid and I'm not going to be somebody who's going to be okay without either having a biological child or adopting a child for myself. The message here strongly for you is you need to work on your 8th house karmas to manifest this child. Maybe some of you are struggling with a child or conceiving a child, and the struggle gets over the moment you start understanding what is going on in your 8th house. Now, everyone's birth chart is very different, so I can't tell you what's happening in your 8th house, but there's something about your past life, your death, your shared resources, income tax, banking systems, which are creating an impact on your life with your kids, okay? Also, a message could be that if you already have children and you've picked pile 3, this child would have a tremendous impact on your growth and the highs and lows that you feel. Sometimes they would help you get a lot of money, and then suddenly things fall and crash. This is a euphoric journey, financially especially, or about wealth, with the existence of this child. I know I've given a plethora of messages within just that, but it is a pile which feels like as if the different kinds of people who will fall into different categories, and not like how pile 1 and pile 2 was, okay? For this pile, I also feel like, again, the message of peculiarities or something being very specific about this child, maybe a scar, maybe a birthmark, which is so unique that people will always notice it and talk about it, okay? I feel like there are more than 1 children here. I've already said it. There could be 3 kids, there could be 2 kids, there could be 5 kids. I see a lot of kids here for some energy, okay? So this is like, unlike pile 1 and pile 2, there could be like more than 1 child for sure. Maybe you have 1 biological child and you adopt 2 children, but there are definitely 3 or more kids here in this pile, okay? I am going to move towards this one, which is the energy or the emotional spectrum that these children operate in. The child could become a banker, okay? The 1 or more of your children could become bankers. They could be rock stars, like literally rock stars. They may have, they may develop something or work or have very strong knowledge of, these digital currencies or cryptocurrencies, or they develop their own scientific mechanical systems. Those could be the kind of things that they do. Apart from, of course, like I already said, from a very young age, this child would be very protected by angels. This child would already have a certain interest in the occult, okay? Misunderstand, okay, I'm not surprised. Misunderstand and perceptive. Because this child is so unique and so different, and they don't see the world in the same lens, a lot of people will misunderstand this kid. This is the kind of parent who gets called excessively to the principal's office because their children are doing just these weird things, and they would demand a lot of nurturing, a lot of safe space. We have again the blues repeating a lot. like pile ones. Okay, and this again talks about their throat chakra. Maybe it's something about their speech, which is also very peculiar, or maybe they have a very unique voice, and they are, again, I did say the rock star, and that makes them a rock star. Some people may actually reject the child for, like, you know what, this is not their career, and you know how those stories happen, like they're so unique that they become something great, even though the world rejected it, and they would nurture. And I think, like, plants would also be a way through which they heal. Herbalism is something that this child could be very curious on, and they may be very good at it. Botany, herbology, those kind of things could be actually things that I do have the energy of 3, 6, 9 here. You may be manifesting this child, or if you are somebody who's wanting to be a parent, you may manifest them using that 3, 6, 9 method. Tesla could be someone that they're very, very inspired by. And what your relationship here with the child is basically to give them that space. You know, they may be an extremely introvert kid who does not want to share all the time everything what's going on in their mind, and it may confuse you. It may also confuse you as a parent as to what is it that's going on with my kid. Why am I not able to break through into their shell? And it's very important for you to give them that space. This card has come out in all 3 piles. I mean, seriously. This is insane. Okay, I'm clearly channeling, and my tarot pals are really inspiring people for sure. I'm blessed to be reading for you, because look at that. I mean, that is not a coincidence. Thrice this card has come out. 38, of course, could be a significant age. I'm repeating that if you have come from the pile that I was talking about, the age 38. Again, inspiration, and they inspire a lot of, okay, for you, I'm also wanting to see this card, which is agitated. This child may have anger issues, though. They cannot really understand and channel where is this temper coming from, where is this. This child would also benefit tremendously from doing a lot of meditation, chanting. This child may actually have ADHD issues, and these could be some early life issues that they face, and the second half of their life is pretty smooth. Okay, but it's all that pressure that sometimes the society creates on children to be working at a certain pace, to be doing things the way they're always done, and it may be troubling you or this kid a lot when at the younger age. But as you move along, as you grow along, they will again make their own path, they will do their own thing, and you would not need to handhold them. Okay, they do inspire a lot of journeys for other people. They will become the voice for those who do not have a voice. Some of you guys may actually raise a politician, an actual politician, okay, who, how do I explain this? This child will trigger a lot of strong emotions from people. Some people will really love the kid, and some people will be so triggered by the kid that they just always have something mean to say about that kid. Okay, I know, very weird messages, but and I'm sorry if that kind of triggers you as a parent who's listening to this, but I'm just trying to read the cards. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, all right, let's get some messages. They also may be very vocal about their disrespect for anything which is very dogmatic. Okay, they would not like anybody to tell them this is the only way to be. Yeah, see, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This child does have struggles when it comes to social acceptance. Not struggles otherwise, but social acceptance is clearly a struggle for this child, and they will figure out their own journey of going through this loss and highs and lows until they find their soul tribe. Okay, and I think your journey does inspire them and does give them the power to know that if my parents could do this, if my parents are have made their own way into this, so can I. Okay, and again, I see that stork carrying the eggs. You're very protective. You're a pillar of support for this kid. Okay, you're a pillar of support for this kid for sure. Let us get some more Lenormand messages. We have the lady and the cross. We do have, see, I'm telling you, pile number 3 is an extension of 1 and 3, 1 and 2 for most of you. They will have a very strong spiritual past life connection to you, and you would know this the moment this child comes into play, or this n number of children come into your life. Okay, the girl is again being channeled. Okay, so if you've come from pile number 2, this perhaps is the girl that we were seeing there. We also have a girl image here, which this could be this, you know, all of them have actually girls, right? The child may actually be a very good dancer. Your kids could be great dancers. I didn't channel that yet, but now that dancing energy is coming across. They actually can become their, politician, spiritual, occult, an occult leader. They do something which is so unique as a profession, and that's why I'm saying they would be either supremely loved or supremely be triggered by. Fox, this came out in pile number 1 as well. They have their own way of living life. They can navigate through life, and they do not need other people to tell them how to do life, because that's not any way why children come into this world. They know how to make their own way. Crossroads, I think this also came in pile number 1. Okay, they will have multiple careers or multiple sources of income. Okay, they may also be a part, like, your kids may get together and do some business or some work. Okay, those are the Lenormand messages that I've got for pile number 3, and I'm going to move towards the tarot deck. Okay, for pile 3s, I'm repeatedly saying you may want to listen to pile 1 or pile 2, because I am getting that repeated message from Spirit after you're done listening to this one, of course, that there is additional messages for you in pile 1 and pile 2, whichever one calls out to you. Okay, we're going to move to tarot and see what comes out for you. This is a millennia pile, by the way. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm able to explain this well enough to you. You know those kids who have a very struggled first half of life, and then they have this insane, crazy quantum leap that they take because of, they've become so resilient, they've become so strong. This is not a child who will, or these are not the children who will chase money or who will chase fame. Fame just comes to them. Money just comes to them because of their experiences. Their journey would be so inspiring. Their story would be so inspiring that wealth, money, excellence, these things would just come into the child's life. Okay. Wow. We have strength, the Leo energy. We have 10 of Wands and the Knight of Cups. One of your kids for sure is a great poet. Okay, poet, dancing, singing, those kind of activities would be really strong in them. They will conquer their inner demons. Legal trouble may trouble this child for a while, in some years of their life, by the way, whatever form of legal trouble. It could be property dispute, it could be drug abuse, it could be any kind of a legal trouble, but that's just a phase, a very small phase, and they know how to battle through it. This is not a child who will lose out easy. This is that Scorpio energy of having that resilience to fight through life. You would be inspired and sometimes be looking up to this kid and go like, wow, this kid has experienced so much, and look at the way they deal with life. Look at the way they charge ahead. Look at the way they know how to take care of their mental health. They actually could be a psychologist or a psychiatrist as well. Okay, let us see what comes up. Okay, justice, look at that. They care about justice, and justice will be served. I just spoke about legal troubles, and this is that justice is served. So even if somebody tries to take away their money, 8th house does create legal issues or law related issues. For some, they will win over that lawsuit and they will get the money. They could be lawyers, they could be psychiatrists, anything to do with human psychology, wherein you tap into human psychology, could be a profession that this child picks up. Libra, Scorpio energies are strongly present in this deck. Apart from Leo, I think I saw a card flip, didn't we? We said Scorpio, and here's the death card. And we saw this death card also in pile number 1 again. Okay, see, this personality will go through tremendous transformations through the life's journey, not that somebody else doesn't, but for this, people would be able to see, oh my god, I knew them in these are the kind of people who for a phase of life have short hair and are going through, they have phases, this is their rock star phase, this is their CEO phase, this is their I want to be a homemaker phase. This child will go through phases, and it is better to just love them instead of trying to understand them. Okay, this is a kid who will demand from their people, love me, don't try to understand me, because you will not succeed. Okay, you will not pass. Okay, you will not graduate. That is the energy that I'm getting. Whatever battle they choose to pick, they may struggle, but they will always win. This is a child who cannot be defeated. Okay, wow, 10 of Cups. Family is something that they're supremely protective about. They will be very protective about you, and they would not, this is the kind of child who just speaks up whenever they hear any kind of a bullcrap being said about their parent by anybody. They value family, they value family values, and they fight for the family values. Okay, if you've come from pile 2, they will get a lot of nourishment from the family activities we discussed in pile number 2. Okay, that would be the safe place that they always go back to. They do also care for other children, and those who are they care for animals, they care for children. They may actually work for orphanage, and like I said, some of you may actually adopt a kid from the orphanage. We talked about this, and I'm so glad Spirit confirms this. This is a child who would be a millionaire, billionaire, crazy amount of money coming their way, because Spirit and luck supports them. They have a lot of heavy karma to clear out, no doubt about it, but Nothing can hold this success back from them. Nothing can hold this justice to be served for them. Okay, Wheel of Fortune does have those 4 fixed signs energy. I always look at it like that as well, like the World card. So it does have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Okay, those are the 4 signs that has, by the way, repeatedly come up for pile 1s and pile 3s. What do we need to know about this child? Okay, we also have the number of 10s. If you see, 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups, 2 10s, and then there's the Wheel of Fortune, which is again 10. So a lot of endings, a lot of beginnings, a lot of endings, a lot of beginnings. And that's how this child, they will have multiple soul spirits supporting them. They will meet a lot of soul tribe members in this lifetime. This is an old soul. Okay, so they have a lot of karma to clear out, and will become a part of a large wow. Intuition screams for this person. This person will surprise some people by their know-how and supremely secretive. Again, like I said, don't try to understand them, love them. Hermit, introversion cannot be any more screamed out for this pile. This is an introvert kid. I feel like I'm reading for multiple children here because I feel consistently that this is an extension of 1 and 2. But even if you're looking just at 3, this is an introvert child who has tremendous wisdom, likes to spend time alone, will automatically know what is good for them, what is not good for them. And all you need for this child is just that safe space, just that acceptance. They will observe really well. So instead of trying to teach them how to live life, how to try to tell them like this is how you're supposed to do things, you should study because blah blah, do it yourself and this child will pick it up. I mean, come on guys, you are raising a psychic gifted child. Pile number 3s. I mean, I cannot emphasize enough on this. This is a child who has so many gifts that sometimes it overwhelms them, it confuses them. They may have visions, they may be clairaudient, they may be clairsentient, they will have multiple psychic abilities, which takes their own time. They may actually want to go, some years of their life they may want to spend alone and figure out their own journey, figure out why they're here, figure out their life purpose, and then come back and succeed. So you got to be open in your mindset to allow this child to do things which perhaps the other kids are not interested in. Okay, and help them find their own comfort space. Okay, they will have 1 or 2 very strong friend circle. Okay, this is a child which will have like a childhood friend who supports them. I'm also channeling an aunt for some of you. So maybe like you have a sister or a brother who's very close to your kids, and they help them navigate through these difficult phases, because this child will have one clear confidant that they do share it a lot with, and that may be you, that may not be you. Okay, if you are somebody who has very strong Virgo placements in you, it could be that it is you who they support. The wolf could be a spirit animal that you start seeing when you conceive this child as well, okay? Because I do have that energy of wolf twice here as well showing up. They will love the night sky. They may be born at night, and full moons and moon phases. These are the kind of things they talk about. They love to have those conversations, and they're very connected to their higher self, okay? Nobody will have to teach them how to meditate. It's like a child who's born and knows how to get into that Zen zone by nature. And they are supremely sensitive, okay? So this is a child, you got to be careful how you speak to them in their first 7 years. You should always be careful how you're speaking to a child anyway, but this is like HSV, okay? So let's get some angel guidance. I mean, look at that. This kid comes with so many spiritual powers and psychic abilities that you may actually have to go through like literally parenting school to understand how do you deal with this. Philanthropy has shown up in pile 1 and in pile 3. They would give their, their abundance, their love, their wealth back to the society, and they will make you proud of that. They will be known for somebody who's the most kindest person anybody knows. Angels, if you feel like you get overwhelmed sometimes around this kid, ask for help from angels, okay? And they themselves would be very, very connected, like I said, to the other side of the realm, okay? People will see that angelic energy in them. Some of them may be very powerful Reiki healers, okay? Alternative medicine, alternative healing, psychic abilities, those could be the kind of profession this child picks up as well, okay? Let's look at some self-care messages or activities that you may want to do with these children, okay? I strongly felt like there is an adopted kid here. for some of you, if that is something that you are interested in, and if you want that confirmation, yes, there is an adopted kid for you. Okay, let us look at what activities show up. I'm gonna go with this one. Look at that. You can't make these things. Oh my god, oh my god, I have never felt such psychic energies in a little baby's reading. I'm literally doing a reading for a child. Okay, and energy work. Okay, leave me a rainbow emoji in the comment section below if you've reached this part of this reading and you felt that divinity. Okay, the word that I'm really channeling for this child is, this is a divine child. Okay, it's like somebody giving birth to Jesus. I know that's an exaggeration, but get the point, right? Health checkup, 26. For very few of you, this could be even a surgeon. Okay, just very specifically, it could be a surgeon, because 8th house does talk about surgery as well. Like I said, there is, I think I channeled that message for pile number 2s or something. There could be like this child needs doctor's support until a certain age. Okay, and you may have to take this kid for regular health checkups for that. Flow like water, love this. That water sign energy is strongly present. They will teach you how to accept life. That's a very simple message I got. You are somebody who thinks that you know it all and you've seen it all, and they will ask you to rest. They'll ask you to take it easy. This is a kid who will allow you to be you. I think you've also struggled with a lot of inner acceptance in life about who you are, who you want to be, what is acceptable by the society, what is not. And this child will help you get connected to your inner self. There could be a lot of spiritual activities that you do together. If you are somebody who yourself is very psychic, you may actually train them a lot, and that training activity will also be a tremendously important part of your bonding. I have just been blown away by this reading that I've done today. It's been so unique and so different for me as well to do this reading. I'm super excited to see what you guys think about it. Do let me know in the comments section below. Leave me a rainbow emoji. Watch the Timeless Readings playlist for more guidance on timeless readings, and I will see you in your next one. Take care. Bye-bye.